Hi everyone, it's Katharine here from MHA Community South Staffordshire, here with an exercise session focusing around building strength and provided by MHA Digital Communities team. So here we are, we'll get started with our warm-up. So before we get started with our warm-up, we want to think about our space and making sure we've got plenty of space to move around, because we are going to be putting our legs up and our arms side to side, making sure we've got a good sturdy chair. It's really important that you do go at your own pace today. I'll be instructing the exercises, but if you want to pause, take a break or stop the exercises, by all means do what feels right for you and your body. If we think about our posture as well, we want to make sure that we sat nice and upright. We have our shoulders back, our chin up, bracing the tummy muscles, trying to aim for our knees in line with our hips and our knees in line with our toes, with our feet flat on the floor. So we'll start off our warm-up and we're just going to rub our legs to start off with, giving them a good rub, like so. And then we're going to wiggle our fingers. We're going to wiggle our fingers and then wiggle our toes, like so. Imagine a piano as well, we can do some scales on the piano. We're going to get the blood flow into the fingers, blood flow into the toes. Good. Onto our neck now. So we're just going to gently turn from side to side, just going round as far as feels comfortable, stretching off the neck muscles, like so. Taking deep breaths. Good. Now onto our shoulders. So relaxing our hands either side of our body, and we're going to bring our shoulders up, forwards and round, making circles. So helping the blood flow to the muscles, stretching off the shoulders before we get started. Good, and back. So going forwards, up and back now. Good. Relaxing the shoulders now, we're going to go on to our chest muscles now. So we're gently going to bring our arms in and out, in and out. We can change direction of our hands as well, like so. Taking deep breaths. So we should feel a nice stretch of the chest muscles. Good, and we'll go one more. Onto our legs now. So stretching off the legs, getting the blood flow into the legs. We're just going to gently bring our leg up and back down. So up and back down. Being really gentle with the leg lifts. What we want to avoid, we don't want to lock out our knees, so we want to maintain a nice bend in the knees, like so. Taking deep breaths, lifting the legs up as high as feels comfortable. Good, and we'll go two more. Sit, good. Now stretching off our heels, we'll go heel to toe, heel to toe. So it's a good stretch for the calf muscles and for the back of the leg. So gently heel to toe, heel to toe. Onto the other leg now. We're going to go again, heel to toe, heel to toe. Good. Good. So we're going to finish off the warm-up now and we're going to go onto a march. So we're just gently going onto a march. We're going to try and aim for opposite arm and leg as well. So if your right arm's swinging, your left leg's coming up and vice versa. So now we're going to continue getting our heart rate up a little bit, getting ready for the main exercises, like so. Taking deep breaths now, because we're going to feel our heart rate going up a little bit more now. Good, and we'll go about another 10 more seconds. Sit, good. And relax, and we'll have a good wiggle off, and we'll get started with our main exercises. So there we have our warm-up, so we might be feeling a little bit warmer now, muscles ready for action. We've increased our heart rate a little bit. So now before we do start the main exercise, I'm just going to touch on some of the benefits of doing strength training or resistance training. So the main goal in doing these exercises is to help increase and maintain our muscle mass, which will keep us stronger, keep us fitter. It will also help alleviate pressure on the joints by making our muscles stronger. It's going to help with our balance, with our posture, which all them together will help prevent falls and help the way we respond if we were to have a fall, and help with our recovery. And it will also help with us maintain and lose weight as well. To help with maintaining our weight and also with weight loss as well. So there's many, many benefits to doing these exercises. So we'll get started. We'll go through our bands today. So we are going to be using some resistance bands. So before you do get started with your bands, do just check over, make sure they're nice and safe, and there's no splits in the bands at all. So yeah, so we've explained a little bit more about the training, so we'll get started with our first exercise. So if we think about our posture again first, making sure we're sat nice and upright, shoulders back, bracing the tummy muscles, chin up, knees in line with our toes and knees in line with our hips, feet flat on the floor. We're going to go through 6 exercises, working all the major muscles in our body. And the first exercise that we're going to do is what we call a chest fly. So with our band, we're going to place the band about in line with our shoulder blades. If we have got a high enough chair, you could pop the band on the back of your chair. So think about our posture. Now, how much resistance you want from the band will depend on your hand positioning. So if your hand is positioned further towards the end of the band, you're going to get less resistance. If you have it closer to your body, you're going to have more resistance. So with our chest fly, we're going to aim for all these exercises around 8 to 12 repetitions. However, do as many as you feel comfortable with. If you do 6 and it feels enough for you, by all means stop, pause, have a little rest. If not, you feel like you'd like to do a few more, but we'll aim for 8 to 12, but again, depends on what feels comfortable for you. So for our chest fly, we're going to take a tight grip of the band on our shoulder blades, and we're going to extend our arms out. We're going to have our palms facing inwards, and we're going to have a slight bend in our elbow, and then we're going to bring our arms back about in line with our body. We don't want to make our arms go too far back because we don't want too much pressure on the shoulders. And what we're going to do, bring our arms in like so, and then out, taking deep breaths. So going in and out. Now if you do that for the first time, when you don't feel like you're getting much resistance, it's feeling a little bit easier, just place your hands closer to the body to get a bit more resistance. So from the top, making sure we're sat nice and upright, we've got our palms facing inwards, and we're going to bring our arms out and then in, taking deep breaths. Really making sure we've got our shoulders back, we're bracing those tummy muscles. We're really focusing on our posture. Good. Good, that's 8. You can either pause now or we'll go for up to 4 more. Good. Sit, and then final one, coming out, and then inwards. Good. Bring bringing our arms close to our body now. And we're going to use our bands again, but now we're going to focus on our legs. So we're going to do what we call a leg extension, so working the muscles of the leg. So we're going to place our band around the balls of our feet, so we don't want the band around our toes in case it flings off. We want to make sure we securely got the band on the balls of our feet. We're going to have a nice upright posture. We're going to have our elbows tucked in. You might want to have a little bit more resistance with your bands for this exercise. Elbows tucked in, thinking about your posture. We're going to bring our knees slightly up and then we're going to push out like so. As we push out, we want to aim for our toes pointing upwards and we want to keep a little bend in the knee. So we don't want to lock our knees out. We want to be really careful, making sure we have nice soft joints. Okay? So again, we'll go for around 8 to 12 each leg, but do as many as what feels right for you. Okay, so we're going to go 1, good, taking your time, being cautious of the knees. Good, so that's 8, so we can either pause now or we can go for another 4. Good, and relax. So placing the band onto the opposite leg now. Again, having the band on the balls of your feet, elbows tucked in, thinking about that good upright posture. And again, we're going to aim for 8 to 12, depending on how it feels for you. So we're going to come up and then we're going to push out. Careful of the knees. Keeping that tight grip of the band. Remembering deep breaths, which I think is quite hard when you're concentrating on the exercises. Remember, deep breath. So that's 8 now. So we can either pause or we can go for 4 more. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Good. So taking our band, we're still using our band. We're going to readjust our posture again. And we're going to work our back now. So working the top of the back of the shoulders. Now this is quite a tricky one, so you might want a wider grip of the band. So what we're going to do, tight grip of the band, we're going to have our arms about in line with our shoulders, and we're going to pull our arms back like so, working the top of the back. Now you don't need much resistance to really feel this exercise working. So if you want to have a quick go just to see what's the right resistance is for you, like so, and you want to feel the top of the back working. So let's think about our posture. Tight grip of the band, making sure we've got our arms in line, back line with our shoulders, and let's go. So just that slight pull backwards, you're going to feel the top of the back working. Taking deep breaths. Good, and we can either pause there or we can go for 4 more. Good, final one. Lovely. So we're going to put our bands to the side now, so we can either be further away or just underneath our chair. And we're going to work on our legs now. So working our leg muscles, so our buttocks, our glutes, our quadriceps and our hamstrings. I'm going to do seated squats. And we're going to readjust our posture, making sure we're sat nice and upright. So if the next exercise that we're going to do is going to work our legs. So we're going to work our lower half, we're going to work our glutes, primarily our glutes, our hamstrings and our quadriceps. So we're going to do our chair squats. So we're going to do 3 variations. So we're going to place our hands on our chest or on our shoulders. We're going to make sure we've got a good distance, so around hip distance apart, placing our hands, and we can either go just slightly off the chair and back down. So when we come just slightly, we're just going to put some pressure, push through our heels, like so, just up, and then slowly back down. Or we can go halfway, like so, or we can do a full way, third option, right up, and then slowly back down. So as we're pushing off the balls of our feet, we're bracing our tummy muscles, keeping our shoulders back, and we're slowly coming down, really nice and gradually coming back down to the starting position. So whichever variation will feel right for you. So I'm going to do option 3, but whichever one feels best for you. So then we're going to go push through balls of the feet, that's it, bracing the tummy muscles, and then slowly, gradually coming down. So we're going to aim for 8 to 12, but again, do as many as feels comfortable for you. Slowly coming down. Slow, really focusing on really working the legs. Up. And then slowly coming down. So all times we're bracing those tummy muscles and keeping those shoulders back. So we can either pause there now, or we can go for 4 more. Good. And we'll come down, then 1 more. Deep breaths. Like so. Good, good. We'll let the legs relax now, they've been working hard. And we're going to work our tummy muscles, so focus on the core of our body. So we're going to adjust our posture. We're going to have hands either side of the body. And we're just going to gently reach down to the side, back to centre, and then down to the other side. Just going down as far as feels comfortable. Like so. So thinking about our nice upright posture, hands either side. We're going to go down one side, back to centre, and to the other side. So going down as far as feels comfortable. We want to feel our sides working. Good. So we can either pause there, or we'll go for another 4 more. Taking deep breaths. 1 more each side. And down again. Real. So we're going to go back to using our bands now. And we're going to work our hands. So we're going to work on our grip strength. So by doing this grip strength exercise, it's going to really help with everyday activities and help build the strength in our hands. So for example, like opening jars, opening doors, car handle doors as well. So different everyday activities are going to help increase the strength of our hands. So we're going to get our band, we're going to place it into almost a ball, but sort of a thick sausage shape. And what we're going to do to start off with, we're going to have our hands like so, and we're just going to squeeze the band, taking deep breaths. And release. And thinking about posture again, and then we're going to squeeze again. Tight grip of the band, really feel the hands working. and relax. And again, squeeze. Sit and relax. And squeezing again. Making sure we're taking nice deep breaths. And relax. And squeezing again. Good, and relax. So now we're going to squeeze, but we're going to twist. So as we're taking a tight grip of the band, we're also going to twist our hands like so. Taking deep breaths. If you want to lay your hands on your lap and squeeze and twist and relax. And again, squeeze and twist again. And again, squeeze and twist. Deep breaths. Good, and we'll go for another 2 more. Squeeze and twist. Good, and then final one. Squeeze and twist. Good, and we'll give the hands a good wiggle and just all over body a good wiggle. So we've completed our main exercises, and now we'll finish off with some light stretches and go on to our cool down. So to finish off the session now, we're going to do a gentle cool down. So we're going to do some light stretches, just help wind our bodies down and help improve our flexibility as well. So before we get started, if we think about our posture, making sure we're sat in that nice upright position. And we're going to start our cool down by taking 5 deep breaths. So we're going to go in and out. Good. So on to our first stretch. We're going to stretch our chest muscles. We're going to have our palms facing forward, and we're going to bring our arms back to feel the stretch in the chest muscles. Now we don't want to bring our arms too far back. We don't want to put too much pressure on the shoulders. Just want to feel a nice stretch in the chest muscles, and we're going to pause in that position like so. Remember your deep breaths. Good. Relaxing now. So onto the top of our back. We're going to place one arm over our chest and the opposite arm above our elbow. We're going to stretch that arm out straight, and then we're going to bring our arm close to the body as far as we can. So we want to feel a mild tension in the back of our shoulders, on the top of our back. And deep breaths. Good, and then onto the opposite arm, same again, arm outstretched over the chest with the opposite arm above the elbow, taking deep breaths. Good, onto our legs now. We'll do our right leg first. We're going to extend our leg, trying to maintain a slight bend in the knee, and we're going to have our toes pointing towards the ceiling, or as far up as we can with our own leg, and then toes pointing as far up as we can, and we're just going to take a slight lean forward. We just want to feel a slight mild tension on the hamstrings and the calf muscles. I'm taking deep breaths, so we don't want to feel any pain, we just feel a little mild tension on the muscles. Good, bending the right leg now, and we're going to stretch our left leg out, same again, having our toes pointed as far up towards the ceiling as we can, and we're just going to lean forward, and again we want to feel that mild tension. Try and remember not to lock out our knees. so. Deep breaths. Good, then slowly bending the knee back into our starting position, readjusting our posture. And now we're just going to take going down to the side, trying to keep really strong tummy muscles, keeping our shoulders back as we do this. We're going to rotate down, lean to the side, deep breaths, holding that position. If you're quite tight with your back muscles, you may only go down slightly, but just want to feel a bit of mild tension in the opposite side of the back. Taking deep breaths, keeping the shoulders nice and strong as well. And then back to centre, same again, keeping those shoulders back, tummy muscles nice and strong, feeling that mild stretch in the side of our back. Like so. Good, back to centre now. And all we're going to do, final stretch to finish off, is that we're going to gently, really nice and steadily relax our shoulders, coming down, keeping those tummy muscles nice and strong. We're just going to let our shoulders roll forward to stretch off our back muscles, like so. Just going down as far as feels comfortable. Taking deep breaths. Good, and then really slowly, nice and gently, coming up, like so. You might want to pause for a moment and have a good wiggle around to finish off the session. And that's the end of our stretch routine now, and we're coming on to a close for our session.